Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar Unlocking AI for Better Meetings with Tunde Lukacs. This webinar is part of the webinar series called AI for the Real World, where everyday people show how they use AI in big and in small ways so that you too can make the most of the available tools right now and feel more prepared to navigate this AI revolution. And my name is Ana Stando and I am your host today. I'm an educator and community builder at heart, and I've always been passionate about learning in ways that feel fun, light, but that are super practical as well. What you also need to know about me is that I am not a tech person. I'm learning together with you from our guests, and I promise to ask all the stupid questions on our behalf. In our previous webinars, we talked about how AI can help us with our emails and newsletters and how it can support us with making truly engaging presentations. And our next webinar on July 2nd is about the latest research on the gender gap in digital skills. This webinar is already open for registrations and you can find it on our website. And today we have about 45 minutes to an hour together, and we are going to talk about using AI to have better meetings. Meetings aren't going away anytime soon, but the way we prepped for them, the way we run them, and how we follow up on them can get a whole lot better with AI. I am excited that you are here. It's really nice to see so many of you coming back. Thank you for joining us today, and I am thrilled to introduce you to our guest today, Tunde Lukacs. What you need to know about Tunde is that she is a keynote speaker, AI leadership expert, and IMD certified executive coach with over 12 years of leadership experience at the Big Four firm, where she led transformation and innovation programs across the European markets. She is also the founder of the Change Republic, a Switzerland-based firm working at the intersection of AI leadership and authentic communication, with clients ranging from Fortune Global 2000 companies to high potential talent at leading energy, consulting, and pharma firms. And as a solopreneur, Tunde has built her entire business around practical AI, using it daily to prepare for client work, run operations, and stay competitive as a one-woman company. She also speaks regularly at corporate events and conferences across Switzerland and Europe, and she is a TEDx speaker, and I encourage you to watch her TEDx talk, What AI Can't Hear, and to sign up to her newsletter that is full of practical AI leadership and change insights. Okay, so Tunde, what would you like to say to someone who feels overwhelmed by AI right now?
Oh, I know the feeling very, very well because the feed is loud. You are being bombarded by all kinds of tips and webinars and events. My best tip, if you feel overwhelmed, is just pick one problem that you have. Pick one point in your work, in your private life where you lose time, which you don't want to do, and help yourself with AI. Tell it to your AI what's the problem. Ask your AI to figure out a workflow, to figure out a process, to figure out some steps to help you. The more you complain to your AI, the better you describe the problem, the better the solution you will get back.
Great. So we said that today we're going to talk a lot about using AI for better meetings. So could you tell our participants what are we going to learn today?
Okay, today we will learn being very efficient with our time and preparing really well with a great quality for our important meetings. So first we will have a before part. In the before part, we will prepare. I will show you some tricks and with the help of my AI tools, how you can do best your research, how you can challenge yourself best if you have just very little time to prepare for a very important meeting, how you can turn all your research materials, for example, to a short podcast that you can just listen to while you are driving, while you are walking your dog. So really, we will have this before part, I believe, the most important. Then in the during your meeting part, I will show you what to do and what not to do and what your AI should do. And then after, we will speak about the after part, what you should do after the meeting, and how you can best process whatever you have done, how you can really act on those actions that you agreed with your partner, with the person that you have had the meeting with, how not to forget anything, and to follow up with the best possible quality. So that's what we will learn today.
Well, this sounds great. I can't wait. So the floor is yours. Let's dive in.
So I have received a message from someone called Marlene, and Marlene's profile is this one. You can download the profile from LinkedIn from anybody who has a public profile. This is basically the start of our meeting. This is how I start preparing. What I'm considering when I prepare for a meeting, how I can best do a research, how I can best prepare for the part from the client's part and also from my part. So what sort of information can I collect that will help me prepare the best for this meeting? So I have received an email from Marlene, and I have then checked also who is Marlene. I have downloaded her profile.
So one question, Tunde, straight away. So you said we can download somebody's CV's profile from their LinkedIn profile with a click of a button, or?
Yes, you go on my profile. If you go on my profile, there's a LinkedIn profile. You will go this under my name. There is somewhere ... Then you can save it as a PDF profile. So everything that you share on LinkedIn, which is the LinkedIn platform, you can transform to a PDF form. So it looks like kind of a CV.
Okay, great. Thank you.
This is something that is if somebody puts their profile public, then this is for everybody available. So you can check out whether this is available for everybody that you are in contact with. This is a very good form, basically, to process information that is anyway available. In the meantime, I also wanted to show you, this is the message that I have received. I have just put the screen from you, so maybe relatable to you if you are also delivering some kind of services. Maybe you receive a message about a potential interview, so something that triggers the meeting. Then, as I said, you can also download this LinkedIn. And then I would like to do some further research, basically. So here's what I am doing. I really have no time to go on the internet and research more about this person, about the company that she's working for, about the industry. So I want to do this as efficiently as possible. What I do is I call whichever chatbot you are using, whichever AI tool you are using. One of my favorites is ChatGPT Deep Research. And there is a prompt that I'm also happy to share afterwards. I don't know if Anna has it, that I use for these specific researches. So I will fill this out. What kind of meeting is it? Who is the person I am going to speak with? And what is the company? The person you can also leave out if there is something confidential, but definitely the company and the you can research. So I will put it to ChatGPT Deep Research. Please make sure you are not putting it into just the chat window, but you are going to use Claude's research, Gemini's research, Perplexity's research, or ChatGPT's research, because that is going to give you a much deeper analysis. You might wait 5-6 minutes. This is not like the chatbot, which comes immediately, and they're going to get back a couple of documents.
Great. So let me just make sure that I got it. So you said you have this one prompt. It's saved probably in your prompt library. You are using it every single time, but it's important that you use the research mode rather than just the standard one, and that the waiting time of 5 minutes, that is something to keep in mind.
Exactly. If you formulated your prompt correctly, it will be very specific, talking about that situation. For example, here my prompt is, without now reading this line by line, is really about the company, about the sector, and also about the AI journey of that specific company because that was the request, how the client reached out to me. So I want to know more about Helvora. It is a mock company, you like it like that, where they are AI journey. So I want to pull everything public internet that can help me. Very good. Once I have done that, you receive a bunch of links, maybe some PDF file links, that the AI tool finds relevant for your specific research. Now, I will not run this research for you. I mentioned you need to wait 5 to 6 minutes. I have already prepared for you the results of what I will get. So what I will get are the following. There is some kind of release about Helvora and the AI journey. So I will take that. There is a leadership interview with one of the leaders in this company, with the CEO, who is also talking about the AI journey. So these are all very relevant research findings for my specific situation. Then I love in these research tools that they not only look for annual reports or press releases, but they also give you back certain social media prints of the relevant topic. So for example, here, what ChatGPT found me is the chief digital officer of this company speaking about her position where AI is definitely at a prominent place. So I can take out even more information from this. What do I have? Yeah, press release, and I believe I had an annual report somewhere. This is the annual report as well. So chapter 3 of the AI report speaks about AI as a core capability. So these are for me super interesting, relevant sources for me to prepare for the meeting. I spent 5 minutes waiting until I got it back, and I didn't have to go one by one and look up all these sources on the internet itself.
Okay, well, so this is important. You are not going straight into whatever AI tool you are using and saying, give me, 5, 10 most important things I should know about the AI journey of Helvora, but you are asking actually for the sources to the internet. So you are using it a little bit as a search engine
Exactly.
first, at least.
If I had
you say this is better because you say that the results are better than just using Google?
Yes, absolutely. You specify I can imagine a company has a lot of press releases and leadership interviews. I don't care when I speak about, I don't know, sustainability in this case. I care about those sources that will give me a good basis for my preparation, right? And that's the AI journey of this specific company. Again, this is your job interview preparation. That might shape your prompt for the specific area you are interviewing for. So what do we know about the marketing journey of Helvora, if that is a marketing job you are applying for? You see, you will always personalize a little bit your prompt, and then you get from the million sources out there, you will get back the ones that are relevant for you. So after 5, 6
minutes, go and read all of them?
I suggest you to, if this is an important meeting, to read it. But at this level, I would also suggest you to get as much as possible. I don't have some research assistants, so my best way to prepare. But I will come back to you, Anna, to the point that is important for you to be aware of the content. So what we ended up with, we have a couple of tweets, maybe a couple of PDF files, a couple of LinkedIn posts, so a bunch of sources that somehow I should feed in my brain and processes. So what I do next is I go into NotebookLM. Maybe you could drop into the chat for me if anybody here has tried NotebookLM, which is Google's free tool.
Just write yes.
Just write yes.
All right, 2 voices. Priska and me only. Okay. So NotebookLM, tell us more, Tunde.
So you go to you see there the URL, notebooklm.google.com, and then you will have something in like try this, and you try it. If you've got a Gmail account, a Google account, you can just enter with that. That's it. No credit card, no payment at this point. I will tell you what this is. This is my brain. So this is a tool that allows you to have a system in certain sources and create the outputs from those sources. So what you see here once you have logged in, on the left side, you see a panel called sources. Here is it where you add some sources. So you see you can upload files, you can add sites, Gmail, Google Drive files, or if you've got just some sketches in your OneDrive, you can also copy paste that here. Then in the middle, you've got a talking chat box, so to speak, where you can basically tell NotebookLM what to do with your sources. And then on the right side of the screen, as you can see, you have different options. You can create things from the sources that you have provided. My favorite, and I'm going to show you that in a second, how it looks, is audio. You can create a podcast. So you dump here on the left side 20 sources, whatever, and then you say to NotebookLM, please create not more than a 10-minute podcast so I can understand what those sources are about. Really good if you have little time and a lot of information. You can also create video if you are the type that likes more the picture, reports, quizzes. I mean, if you're so doing courses as a job, I believe this is very useful part. But I also love map, for example, with companies when you have to understand who is who in the company and you don't have an org chart, but you've got good sources. You can ask the mind map to map for you who is responsible for what. Again, if you add sources, ask here on the right side to create these files. It will take you 5-6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you ask for a long one. So I will not do that. Before this webcast, I have prepared you that. So I hope now you can see the same NotebookLM page with already filled out. So what essentially, I dumped everything here on the left side. As you can see, the CEO interview, the end report, the press release. I have here also Marlene's original message she sent me on LinkedIn. Voice snippet is something I also put some notes, my first thoughts. So I also put it here. And also her LinkedIn profile. So basically everything that I think for this project, for this meeting prep is relevant, I have dumped here. I pressed on specifically here on the podcast, and you choose here different lengths. So there is deep dive, brief, critique, debate, fantastic. And you have AI generated voices speaking. I will now show you how that one looks. This is how it looks. I hope you will hear.
Not yet. We can't hear the audio, I think.
Change where you want here. How about now?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't go. No. We can see the video though. But we can't see the voice, probably because of the sharing, right? Maybe you're not sharing the screen with the sound yet.
All right, so voice is a problem. Okay, anyway, that's this one, which you can see now, is the video version. So what I asked here, NotebookLM, is to create a video for me that is very well describing the place where this company is, where Marlene's mindset can be based on all the public information that I have. So you here get a 1-minute video, or you can also, as you could see, I have done the where is it here? I have also done the podcast, maybe a 10-minute podcast you can get, and the podcast is going to talk to you 10 minutes long, basically summarizing everything. So I imagine So if you have a team member that does all these researches and you ask the team member to brief you, that is what NotebookLM is going to do for you. So I think this is a really good preparation for me.
Yes. So that sounds okay. So you got, let's say, 10 documents, some press releases, interviews, and so on, and then it builds you, let's say, a really nice podcast or a video, and then while you are doing something around the house or taking the dog out, you can listen to it. And I've been my partner has been using it recently to load up the Swiss citizenship test, as well, to really try to understand and to learn on the go how the Swiss government works. So many different uses. Yeah, we are becoming a fan of the tool.
I think you've got a great speaker possibility, Anna, with that use case. But exactly. So this is what it is about. I think some years ago, you would be sitting hours long in the afternoon reading all these sources. And now what you can do, you can get
underlying, right, with the highlighter, and so on.
And now you can have a first impression, because again, just to remind you, what we are doing here, we are preparing for the meeting with the client. So you cannot invest probably days and days to prepare for this all, but you'd like to go in informed. So that's what we're going to do. Now, there is an add-on of as well. Of course, you can do the same type of preparation from your own documents as well. So you can go into your own files and see what sorts of projects you have been working on so far, maybe in the pharma industry. If you've got that on, then you can drop them into NotebookLM or into Claude Code, and also ask the AI tool to remind you what very relevant client experience you have had, or what very relevant jobs you have been doing. So it's a little bit also from your own experiences, from your own knowledge. Then what is going to happen is that we will go into this call now with Marlene. So we will go into the call, and now we arrive to the during session. I don't have a slide to show during the during session, because during the during session, I think you should be speaking to the client and focusing to what the client is saying. So here you will hear my opinion. If it's not applicable to you, please accept it as a diversity opinion. I try to transcribe all my meetings. I find it super important not to rely on my memory or on my catches with a pen and a paper. So I am always requesting permission to transcribe meetings in person as well, but also online. So in person, I would use the voice memo app of my and online, I would use my tip for you is Tactiq. Tactiq is my transcription tool, which is going with a Q at the end. So Tactiq. It is not an additional participant, which is sometimes really weird when you go into a call and there is a ghost participant there. Tactiq does not do that, but it lets the participants know that there is this transcription going on. I also verbally ask if it is okay that I transcribe. And also, many meetings for me are booked through Calendly. And in Calendly, I also have a disclaimer that the meeting is going to be transcribed. Do your preparation, be GDPR and Swiss AI, Swiss data compliant. But my tip is for you, 2026, try to have it transcribed at least. Recording is not important. Picture is not important at this stage, what you are saying. So this is our during part. Make sure to transcribe it. And it's a habit. You can do it in team meetings as well. You definitely do it in client meetings. There is a habit you've got to come into asking for permission. And sometimes it is still maybe a strange thing that you ask, but you will break the ice. So
yeah, I think it's becoming more and more common, right? And we see that more and more popping up, and people are getting used to it as well. Doesn't mean that everybody is okay with that, but it doesn't need to be an awkward conversation.
No, and if the client or whoever is your partner is going to tell you no, then it's a no, then you switch it off, then you go back to your regular methods. But it is. I feel there is a side in that, and I would like to use it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, how you use this transcript next, because I've been having some conversations with people where say, okay, I've transcribed the meeting, and then especially if, let's say that the insights are supposed to be shared with another team member, right? People often say, well, they've read the transcript, but they have still no idea what the meeting was about, because oftentimes it includes half sentences, right? All the uhs and ahas, and it's really literally a transcription word by word.
That's correct. So you need to be really mindful about that. I'm going to share with you, hopefully now something else. I will share with you my Claude Code. So what happened now is that I have participated in the meeting, transcribed the meeting, and I have received the transcription, which is typically a TXT file or a Word file, whatever is your output. I have a workflow set up that this TXT file is, say, OneDrive. You can open it anytime. So what I'm going to do with Claude the following. I will ask Claude Code, is the non-chatbot part, so the Claude Code part of, you all have access to it if you have a Claude subscription. You can do it with any other tools. This is just really my recommendation for today. So I will add here the source, the path to this file where my transcription is saved, and I will say, please analyze the transcript and tell me what was agreed. Who does what? This is my very favorite exercise. I don't know how is it with you, but in a lot of meetings I have participated. At the end, nobody knew who did that and what has to be done. Maybe the AI automatic summary was not best. So I for a security reason, I always do this, especially if it's an important meeting, your job interview, your client meeting, your big team meeting. I always double check what is going to be said. So this is what Claude Code did. It analyzed my transcript, who does what agreed. There is a sub, so just the insights of that meeting, and then who does what. Tunde does this, and Marlene does that. So this is something for you, a sanity list afterwards, that you do all these things that has been done. As you can see, one of the first thing that I agree with Marlene is that I will write and send a proposal to her within 10 working days. I don't know why. I normally send it the same. Maybe in this particular was that. So write and send a proposal, and it contains what? It contains my approach, pricing, whatever. What happens here is that you've got an additional source. So immediately that I start working on this project, we'll go back to the notebook file that you have already seen, and I will enter here in NotebookLM an anonymized version of this call. So I will take out the name of the client or the company or whatever I don't want to be public data. And I will add here into the sources. You remember we went through the sources where I added all the previous publicly available sources here. And I will add this discovery call script as well. And I will start speaking here to the chatbot, and I will ask how best I could structure that proposal. So you need to know here is Gemini behind this chat. So you will again a powerful AI tool answering to you. And I will create a proposal using this chat here, using all the public information, very specific script that I have had. I will work on the sections of my proposal. What I also do, why I am showing this all to you through NotebookLM, is because you can leverage on these fantastic studio elements. If you would like to fascinate your client or the person that is doing the job interview with you, or your boss, or whatever meeting you are preparing for. You can also create a video. And what you can do here in the video, you specify the prompt, specify exactly what the video should be about, so that it should repeat, for example, changes that were displayed by the client, so that it's super personalized. When Marlene is watching my video, she thinks, oh, wow, she was really listening to what I was saying. Please translate it to your own situation. Again, your job interview, your team meeting. It gives you an additional, very personalized edge. And I believe so much that this personal approach is going to be more and more important in this AI-driven world. So help it to personalize your approach.
So, quick question: the video idea, it sounds like a nice add-on, right, for the moments where you want to maybe woo someone. And how much time do you spend on it, right? Because you write the prompt, and then can you fine-tune it afterwards? Is that something that can then, it's supposed to take 5 minutes, but then 3 hours later you're still fine-tuning the video?
No, you can, in that sense, you cannot the video, so you can edit it through maybe a next prompt. You can specify it. For example, it happened to me that I found the tone of this video too personal, too informal, casual, and it didn't, in my opinion, it did not fit the situation. So I just copied the prompt, pasted it, and I just added, use an official, friendly but professional tone. I mean, these kind of, but I'm not fine tuning the video in the sense you cannot say, oh, at timestamp 3:10, please add red dot. You cannot do that. Or the podcast as well. I mean, these are really wow effects that will make stand out. I've received really cool feedbacks around that, and I think this can help you in your after session. So whatever you have to do after your call, whatever you have agreed on the call, I use NotebookLM. I use again Claude Code to go back and help me write the elements of the proposal. But I always have these publicly available information and this personal transcript with me, and shape whatever action items that we have agreed accordingly.
You've just given me an idea to try it with something concrete. I've just told you all we have this upcoming webinar on July 2nd about digital skills, and I've got the webinar description, and I'm just going to put it in, and I will ask it to create a video, and let's see if it's going to prepare a nice video that then I can use in social media to promote the webinar.
Absolutely. Maybe to build on your idea, Anna, and then I will share it once more. Please, if you do that, make sure that you do the prompt really well, or you put an effort into thinking actually what you want to achieve. So the more you at the beginning, the better it gets. Just once more, video is super cool because you do cinematic, explainer, briefs. They're all the different type or lengths of the video, and here you can put an unlimited length of prompt. Also, if you are not sure how to write that prompt, ask NotebookLM or Claude, whatever AI tool open, helps me structure what I want to do. So you don't have to reiterate 50 times the video as well.
So again, in the first webinar, Priska, who is here with us, she shared a very powerful 5 bits for prompting. I'm still working on a home for all those great resources and ideas that are being shared during the webinars. But if you would like to get that prompt and you weren't there at the webinar, then I can send it to you prompt properly.
All right. So this is how I structure my meeting. Hopefully you could take some sort of translation to your own situations. Again, I don't do it for every kind of meeting, but I do them for the ones that matter to me, and when I know that I'm a little bit short on time. To your first point, Anna, please always know what to put in those documents. So please read it through. The end responsibility and accountability is always with you. So if your video talks about that you have no idea what it is, please look them up and read after. But it does give you a good kick. It does give you better than a blank piece of paper to prepare for your meetings.
Mm-hmm. Great. So I have a few more questions, but let's see if there are any questions related to that from the audience. If there are, you can type them now in the chat, or if you feel comfortable, you can unmute yourself. And in the meantime, I see somebody asking about the previous recordings. So I will have a public place where you will be able to find all the recordings. In the meantime, write to me and I'll send it to you in the less formal way. And one of the questions here in the chat we have, is it possible to get access to the, that's the same. Yes, so we'll make sure that we'll get that to you, but please reach out. Anything related to today's topic, think about it. And yeah, Charles?
Thanks, Anna. Can I just go back to the question I asked earlier? So I believe Claude with a P is a kind of credit card sized device which you can use. It's independent of the platforms. It's not linked. It's not a transcribing part of a platform like Teams or Copilot or anything else. Has anyone had any experience with that? Any tips or tricks with that?
Not me.
No. Okay. I saw someone using it the other day and she said it was rather expensive, but
Do you remember how much was it?
And it is transcribing, Charles, or what is the purpose of
as
it?
far as I know, it's literally just a recorder, a voice recorder in the form of a credit card sized device, which you can then, I guess, upload to the cloud. And then you can use any of the other tools you've been talking about, like Claude Code or something else, to analyze the transcription. What was interesting is that it literally is like it's like having one of those old dictaphones, except a modern version of that, you know?
I don't know. The one I am using is this. It's probably also on your iPhone. Some people who have the Apple Watch, which I don't have, told me that you can also record with the Apple Watch.
Okay.
Please always ask for consent if you're doing that. Don't just start recording. But these voice memos I find really good because it records the MP4 format, but then there is also transcript already included. So I just copy the transcript and I drop it in OneDrive to a folder. So I have that also for physical meetings. I'm happy with this, but maybe if somebody needs an additional gadget, there are options out there. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
and for example, if you are on Zoom, I am absolutely in love with the summaries from Zoom.
Yeah.
So you know, when you set up a call, you can choose the summary template. So for example, for this call, I chose a lecture summary, and that's what I did as well with the two previous webinars. And you get around 6 to 8 pages, but it really says tools mentioned, right? Key concept to remember, somebody's workflow. Here is the prompt framework. So it's super great, and you can choose between the Q&A or a short summary or a standard summary or next steps. If it's a project update, for example, there is a different template. So yeah, great. Any other question? Oh, there was another question from Daria. Is there a way to trick that transcription tool if there are people in the meeting who speak both English and German as a mix?
That's a great point. It's a great point. So 2026 June, that is still a limitation in my experience. So you do need to choose the language of the meeting at the beginning. I chose Tactiq because I do meetings in 4 languages, in English, German, Italian, Hungarian. Hungarian is the crackiest of all, and it does a wonderful job. So of the opinion, if it can crack Hungarian, it can crack anything. But I do need to choose at the beginning of the meeting the language of the meeting. It's the same like I believe in Microsoft Teams, you have to choose the caption, that there is a preset language. So if in one meeting you've got different languages, it might get fuzzy with the transcript. But again, that's June 26. Let's speak in 3 months. Maybe that's also improved.
Great.
I have a question,
yeah.
if it's possible. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
So I'm also from Hungary, you can tell. So, but I'm living in Switzerland. I have a question. So I'm employed by a company and we don't use so much AI in the everyday. And I think that is also one of the reasons which is holding back to use it, because it was super useful webinar today. But how can I use these tools with my work environment where I have like no admin rights? I cannot download anything to my laptop. So that's my challenge or bottleneck. So do all these things work with the company systems, or what is your view on it?
Talk to your boss. Now I know very well the problem, and there are different in companies. It works in different ways. There are companies that allow you zero access, so you don't go through the firewall. There are companies that maybe encourage Copilot, but you can use also other tools as well. I mean, it is always, in my opinion, common sense. So you need to know what you violate or not violate. For example, I have just shown you in the before part, right? The research and everything. Those are all public information. So you are not risking any kind of data leak. You have access to NotebookLM on whatever computer, you can do the before part. It gets tricky when you then obviously have to work with the transcript or with your team documents, whatnot. I see there is always a way to at least the publicly available data search you can do. But I completely understand, Katalin. This is a really, really big limitation. People then start looking on their own laptops. Again, NotebookLM is a free tool, so you can just really do that. I'm hoping that there will be better securities and better understandings, and we can all have access to good and useful tools. And
I think in the meantime, we need to learn on the side, learn with personal things, right? Using in our personal life, because it's a matter of time, I think, where it's going to be widely used, and we can be a little bit ahead of the curve. Because, and honestly, I also sometimes feel like I'm just playing with the tools, right? I don't have not necessarily always a very clear, vision or mission or a very concrete task that really needs to be done with AI. And sometimes it feels like, okay, I'm playing here a little bit and here a little bit, and does that really lead to anything? And that's something that I've been reflecting on. And right now I have settled on that it does, because all those tools, they somehow work in a very similar way, right? So even if I play a little bit here and then I go to another digital tool, the interfaces, the press here, do this, it adds up. It adds up. And I think at one point when we really need it, we will be much more comfortable, at least in this, within the tools, we will find our ways a little bit faster. Right, so we are at the end of our webinar today. So I just have a quick question to you, Tunde, and I'm gonna launch another quick poll for everybody here in the room while you're still here. I would love to hear your feedback about today. So let me do that. I have a bit of a, here, there we go. I think it should be all visible to you now. So Tunde, what's one small AI trick you personally love that we didn't get to talk about today, but that everyone should know?
What's that I would like to share, everybody should know. I believe the best tip I have for you is do not rely on your memory, do not rely on your paper and pen, but do your best to transcribe and analyze your own discussions. Today we did once more thing, when I asked the AI, what was the message that, what was the action that we agreed on? Please analyze your transcripts. Ask AI, what else could I have asked the client? What did I miss in the conversation? Challenge yourself with the AI. I think that's my answer to you, Anna.
Mm-hmm. Challenge yourself with AI. Great. Well, thank you so much for making time today, Tunde, to show us how you work. And thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you for being here again. I hope you have enjoyed it, that you've learned something. I look forward to welcoming you again at future webinars. And until then, go play with AI, go make it work for you, and have a great week. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.